Hey guys, on today's show, we've got 18 Trump amazing victories, some bigger than others, but 18 victories that the left cannot have. They don't have an answer for it, you guys. It's fantastic. And then we're going to talk about karma being visited upon really deplorable celebrities. So stick around for that on the Angela Bach Show.
Hello, my name is Angela Box.
So you're calling my name.
Okay, last week was a big week, you guys. Another big week for President Trump. He spent the majority of last week whipping all the Republicans, making sure they got on board with the big, beautiful bill, and it did pass, and it's going to be fantastic. Now, what was wild to me, and I'm going to insert some video here because you need to see what Hakeem Jeffries was saying. It's like, stop threatening us with a good time, Hakeem. Same with AOC. Like the most unaware, tone deaf idiots in Congress. They were all up there for 9 hours bitching and moaning about this bill, like talking about how the world's going to end and everyone's going to die. Okay. It's like, no, the Medicaid cuts. Okay. The Medicaid cuts we're getting rid of fraud, waste, and abuse, and making sure illegal aliens don't get taxpayer resources, like, which is what the American people voted for. It's like we voted for all this. So I'm going to quickly insert a video of Hakeem and IOC losing their damn minds, and we'll come back and talk about it.
Manu wasn't the only one. The only American citizen who's been targeted by the deportation machine, a deportation machine that will be unleashed on steroids.
Because this bill represents, in the text of this bill, the largest and greatest loss of health care in American history. 17 million Americans will lose their health care on this bill, not undocumented people, not quote unquote the disgusting term illegal, but 17 million Americans will have their health care cut from this bill.
So for 9 hours, Hakeem gets up there and everyone's yawning and everyone's like, you shut up. This is going to pass. Like, stop. AOC out there talking about, it's going to be 10 times worse than it was before. People are going to be snatched off the streets. It's like people who are illegally here. And the longer this goes on, and I've said this before, like the more they ride and die for illegals, whether they are violent criminal illegal aliens or just the garden variety, nannies and gardeners, it really, really pisses people off. It's like, why are you fighting so hard for this? Oh, could it be because you want apportionment in the Congress and you want to make sure that those bodies count towards getting more seats for Democrats, and you want to make sure that years down the line, when Democrats are back in power, you're going to get amnesty to them and then they get to vote for you guys? Like, could it possibly be? Oh, of course. Anyway, so stupid. But that's not, listen, Hakeem Jeffries talking about a deportation machine gives me life. Like, I know he thought that line was going to be like just a real stick in the eye to Trump and to MAGA, but it's like, again, stop threatening us with a good time. And we didn't hear you bitch and moan when Joe Biden et al. Lost 400,000 unaccompanied minors. Like, just lost them. Like, we don't know where they are. Sorry. Again, could they be being trafficked to your buddies who may or may not have been in the Epstein client list or gone on Epstein Island, or, perhaps are in pedophile rings throughout the country that you probably know about? I digress. But that's not the only thing, obviously, that Trump has been rightfully congratulated for. I'm going to read to you just a few, because there's 18 here, and I don't want it to go on forever. I'm going to read you a few of the things that Trump has accomplished. The big, beautiful bill, obviously, the tax cuts being made permanent. We're going to have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Basically, all the things that Democrats used to stand for, Trump has completely co-opted. Like, the only thing Democrats have now are the blue-haired trannies and the abortion freaks and the illegal alien lovers. That's it. Everyone else is MAGA. Everyone else is like, we're done with you. All right, let me continue. The big beautiful bill. Then we have illegal alien mega wins. So the the border crossings have basically gone to zero. Okay, when Mayorkas and Biden were like, we don't know, they just want to come, they just keep coming by the millions. Anyway, zero. And people are getting the message like, we're not open for business anymore. You're either going to come here legally or don't come at all. So that's good. Trade deals. We got Vietnam, we got the UK, we got all these other ones. China's going to come. China's going to get so sick of those damn tariffs, you guys, which are now baked into the market, that they're going to be like, oh God, I guess I have to make a deal with this guy. It's like, yeah, you do. You need us more than we need you. Because let me tell you something. I have not bought one thing from Temu since the tariffs kicked in. Not one thing, because there is a tariff charge. And I'm like, nope, not paying it. All right, let's see. Peace deal with Rwanda and the Democratic Congo. Yeah, for a guy that's a raging racist, spending all that time trying to get two black nations to stop killing each other. Not really fitting the bill of a KKK member, but that wasn't on anyone's bingo card at all. And Trump did that. And the foreign minister of Rwanda was like, he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for that. Not only the Israel-Iran war coming to an end after 12 days after we bombed their nuclear facilities. That's another extraordinary win. With again, they all thought we were going into World War III. They were licking their chops, hoping that we were going to get into World War III. And Trump's like, nope, not doing that. We're just going to knock out all the nuclear reactors. Bye-bye. Let's see what else. Rogue judges put in their place with the Supreme Court ruling saying, some traffic court judge in Boise, Idaho cannot set immigration policy for the rest of the country. That's over. So that's great. The stock market is soaring. Inflation is down. Jobs are up. Companies are investing in the U.S. Gender sanity is back. Like, y'all, the fever dream that we all lived through for the past 6 or 7 years just suddenly and irrevocably ended when Trump took over. Like, every single corporation scurried back and was like, okay, we need to stop this. Like, Pride Month wasn't crazy this year. I mean, I'm sure it was in some pride parades in blue cities, but corporation wise, media wise, they were real quiet this year. People are just done with this nonsense. Again, you pushed and you pushed and you pushed, and you took it from let's treat people equally. And you went from gays just want to get married to we're going to kill all people who don't agree with us. Like, that's where we've gone in the past 6 or 7 years, and it's stopped. And the only people that are rioting and dying for these people now are Democrats. So it's fantastic. Let's see what else. Oh, egg prices are down. Gas prices are down. The Lake and Riley Act was passed. Like, you guys, so many things. So many things. And the more Trump wins, the more the left just screams at the sky. But they're all basically at this point, they're the boy who cried wolf, because everything Trump has done has been great for the country. And again, co-opting those issues that Democrats used to run on, the working class, the middle class. Now Democrats have the very, very poor and the very, very elite. And the riding and dying for the illegals, trainees, and abortion. Like, that's their platform, which we all celebrate here on the Angela Bach Show. So I love it. Okay, some really funny karma has been visited upon 3 terrible people. 3 terrible leftists who basically have their karma written all over their faces and bodies, and I'm here for it. So the first one last week, Kathy Griffin. Y'all, Kathy Griffin used to be funny. I used to love her stand-up. I thought she was witty, clever, she was great. And then she started completely jacking up her face, and then she got stage 20 TDS and held up Trump's head in effigy and all the things she did, okay? And ever since then, it's just been a really rough time for her. And she was photographed last week in LA looking like it's like her face. And look, I mean, I will talk about people's looks if they're filthy leftists, like the double bagger Rashida Tlaib. Like, I don't care. But normally, especially if it's someone that's trying to get it together, I'm not gonna make fun of that. But her face, I don't know what happened. It looks like, I made a comment. I said she looks like she's morphed into Queen Elizabeth I. And Queen Elizabeth I famously had a lot of pockmarks because she had smallpox, and she put on white powder or makeup to cover them. and the makeup had lead in it. So it like rotted her face. All right. That's what Kathy Griffin is looking like. Not only that, Queen Elizabeth I had like this really high hairline. Kathy Griffin looks like she took her hairline and just jacked it to the middle of her head. And as someone who has a forehead you could land a plane on, I sympathize with us large foreheaded girls. But this is like her hairline is like disappearing. It's like she's a man going bald. It was frightening. Her face looks like, yeah, like paper mache, and like I don't even know, like a bad paper mache project. It was bad. It was really bad. So that was unfortunate for Kathy, but a little bit of karma, is it not? And then we've got the excrement filled Lena Dunham, who is one of the people I love to hate the most. Lena Dunham, never forget, created the insufferable show Girls, which is basically a biography about her and her life. And I'm sad to say I hate watched every second of it, but I will not be watching Lena Dunham's new show because in this new show, she does all the things she did during Girls. She hasn't had zero personal growth. She thinks she's hilarious. She thinks she is culturally like of the moment, on top of everything. She doesn't realize like people can't stand this girl, like can't stand her. Never forget, during the Emmys one year, I guess she was nominated or something, maybe won. I mean, they probably gave her an Emmy. Of course they did. And she sits on the toilet, and someone takes a picture of her eating cake. She's so witty and relatable. She's just like you. She eats cake on the toilet. Anyway, the latest thing she's done, I mean, I don't know if she's still molesting her sister, but she liked to talk about that a lot too when she was a kid. Weird. The latest thing she's done, she's gone to Wales, and someone has actually married this woman. All right. And when I tell you she's put on 100 pounds and she looks so bad, so bad. It's not that she's, taken on like a Jabba the Hutt shape. And she really has, like, her face is kind of melting in her jowls, and it's like Jabba. Okay. Not only that, she's grown her hair out really, really long, and it's stringy, and she's dyed it black, which is, she's a natural blonde. Like, you guys, you got to look at the pictures that you had when you were little kids and take that to your hairstylist and be like, that's what I want. Don't go opposite on the color wheel. Okay. It never works. Go with your coloring. Go with what you were as a kid. Anyway, I digress. Little tools, tips, ladies. Anyway, Lena Dunham is over in England now, or Wales. And again, someone married her, which is shocking. And she's fat. And she put out a video last week about her talking about what, where the cool places to go in London are, because she would know, of course. I'm going to insert that real quick right here.
Standing under a bridge, waiting for the rain to end in front of a kebab shop is romance in London. Hi, style. I'm Lena Dunham, and you're going to get to know me, London edition. Okay, it's a three-way tie. Bubba Soho, Afghan Kitchen in Islington, Brat. Well, this is funny. I used to think Joe and the Juice was like a little London coffee shop. I was like, wow, this place is so adorable. Turns out it's a chain.
I mean, again, avert your gaze, gird your loins. It's the self-indulgent narcissism of these people. They think that they are sages. They think that they are Aristotle over here, like giving us amazing cultural nuggets that we can take for our own. And then we can, use them in our daily lives.
I think that I may be the voice of my generation.
No, Lena Dunham, you are an insufferable little rich kid from New York City who had an incredibly privileged upbringing, and you're not interesting. And she went to Oberlin. Of course she did. Like, she is Oberlin College. Okay. She is the worst. And I love that karma is visiting upon her as well. Okay. The last one we're going to talk about, Cynthia Nixon, who I despise, who is a burr in my hide, okay? Cynthia Nixon, the most insufferable ginger lesbian. Dare I say, the most insufferable lesbian in our culture today. Cynthia Nixon is, again, one of those really self-indulgent narcissists who thinks she's brilliant and, so au courant. She last week on And Just Like That, which I'm not watching. I will sometimes see clips, like hate watch the clips. And one of the clips last week was Cynthia Nixon is staying at Carrie Bradshaw's, massive, you know, Gramercy Park mansion. And she comes out at night naked, and we are feasted, our eyes are feasted with the vision of Cynthia Nixon's droopy mom body, saggy boobs, her small head, again, menopausal belly, and then like grandpa black socks up to her shins. It's like, what is this self-indulgence? You There is no other explanation for it, okay? She is a raging narcissist who thinks that people want to see this crap. It's like, no, we don't want to see. Honestly, like, we lived through this, okay? We lived through the fat mannequins and the fat Victoria's Secret models and the tranny Sports Illustrated models, okay? We're all done with that, okay? We want aspirational figures. And I'm not saying everyone needs to be a size 2. No one, you do you, boo. But have some self-awareness, okay? Have some understanding that people probably don't want to see that. All right, we just don't. Now, what the big thing she did, where she really stepped in it, which is kind of shocking, because as a card-carrying lunatic leftist, she thinks that, again, she is Aristotle, she is Plato, she is speaking truth to power all the time. Last week, she put on a hat, a MAGA style hat, that said, "Make abortion great again." I'll insert a picture here. Well, the internet was none too pleased about this. The internet was like, this lady is dark-sided, okay? And even people who are pro-choice in her comments were like, what are you doing? Like, you're giving the other side like ammo. This is like free bread and cheese here for the pro-life community, to look at how little you think of a human life, whether you want to abort it or not, or pro-choice or pro-life. It's still taking of a human life, okay? And the way that the pro-life movement has started to really make more hay is by pointing out how callous the quote pro-choice movement is. It's not a pro-choice, it's a pro-abortion movement, because you've got Cynthia Nixon saying, let's make abortion great again. Let's have it up to all 9 months. Like, what's the problem? What's the big deal? It's birth control. Again, using it as birth control, which the pro-choice community always said, we're not using it as birth control. It's like, but you are. But you actually are. Speaking of abortion, Lena Dunham has also famously said that she's really sad that she didn't get a chance to have an abortion before she had her hysterectomy, which, I'm glad she didn't murder any of her unborn children. And I'm also glad she's not going to be subjecting us to any of her offspring. Like, thank you, Jesus. But Cynthia Nixon got her ass handed to her, and it was really something to behold. Like, she's probably like, what? I thought everybody loved late-term abortion. I thought everybody loved using abortion as birth control. What are you saying? What do you mean safe, legal, and rare? It's like, no, safe, legal, and all the time. All right, that's what they want. And it did not go over well with the internet. So I stand with you, internet, and I appreciate you putting this little ginger narcissist nobody in her place. It was good. All right, that's where I'm going to leave this video. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next one. I will be done. Bye.